Hey guys, welcome to another Hatha Yoga video with Jen, with me. Make sure you have a yoga mat. It's always the most easiest to have something that gives you a little bit of grip. It's not going to be a tough class, but we might do some challenging poses today. Just take your time practicing them, okay? I'm going to give you a lot of options and just choose the one that suits you best. Have fun! Okay, so this class we're going to start standing up. Okay, so we're going to take our time in some of the poses, but I don't want to make this class too long, so we're just going to stand up, breathe a few times. If you want to sigh or yawn, it always helps. Place your feet firmly on the ground, maybe hip wide, a little bit wider if you feel you need more support. And you can feel that you can place your weight a little bit more towards the front by leaning to the front or more to the back. And trying to keep the weight in the middle. So on both feet, backwards, forwards. And then try to relax the knees so you can bend them slightly, maybe just a millimeter, just to make sure that they're not locked. Relax the hips if you want to bring the pelvis, tilt the pelvis a little bit to lengthen the lower back. You can do so. You pull in the navel a little bit and breathe. So don't do that too much. If you put a lot of pressure on the hips, you automatically use a lot of belly muscle, and we want to keep the belly a little bit relaxed so you can breathe. Okay, so when you breathe in, you can feel that your belly can still move. Relax the shoulders, the arms. Try to relax your face. Breathe in and out. And maybe you have an intention for today. Maybe you have an intention for this class, for yourself, or something you want to achieve. And it's really okay. Intentions are really nice because they give you direction, they give you a purpose, they make the things you do meaningful. And try to not be worried about the result of your intention. So if things might go different today, or if you feel that your intention might change during class, it's really okay. You don't have to get attached to the result of your intention. But setting one can be really nice. Okay. You can bring the hands on the hips. If you want, you can bring the feet outwards a little bit more. We're going to roll the hips. So try to keep the legs stretched but the knees unlocked. And just move along. There we go. Just move. One side, the other side as well. And just keep on moving. Keep on breathing as well. So we're just gonna do some poses today that might be challenging, like I said, but it's okay. You can do it in any variation you want to. I just want to show you what you can do with yoga and everything there is to learn, maybe. Okay, there we go. Back to the center. And you can bring the weight onto the left leg, and you can bring the right knee up and out. So we're just going to roll our hips, and you can touch your toes on the ground every time you come down. Well, it might be easier for the balance. And then we're going to change legs, okay? So weight towards the right, and just bring the left leg out, up and out. Try to stand up straight. So keep the weight onto the right leg, and again, relax down. Very good. Okay. If you're not in the front of your mat, you can come to the front. We're just going to warm up a little bit with some, little bit of a flow, okay? So take your time doing this, but we're just going to warm up the body. When you breathe in, you can bring both hands all the way up, and when you breathe out, you can come down. If you want to roll down, it's okay too. When your hands are on the mat or touching the mat, you can bring your feet both backwards towards a downward facing dog. You can walk the dog, so you can keep your toes, basically you keep your toes on the mat, and you just stretch out your heels one by one. Try to keep the weight towards the back, fingers stretched out, hands firmly on the mat, so keep the weight on the fingers, not just on the wrists. Just keep on walking. Stretch out those hips and those legs. And then come towards a high plank, so you bring the weight forward onto a high plank. Keep on breathing, you're doing great. If you want, you can lower the hips or bring the hips up a little bit more. And then come back to downward facing dog. So you bring the weight back. Bend the knees. Try to make it a still, strong downward facing dog. And back onto a high plank. So bring the weight forward. Lower the hips. Strong core. And back towards the downward facing dog. So again, bring the weight backwards. Stretch out the fingers all the way, very good. You can always keep the knees bended, it helps. Relax the toes so that the heels fall backwards a little bit, so let them sink towards the mat. And then we're going to step the left foot forward in between the hands. Once your left foot is in front of you, so between your hands, stretch out the left leg as far as you like. You can stretch it a little bit or all the way, it doesn't really matter. As much as you like. Fingertips on the ground. Or your whole hand. If you have enough, my hands or my arms are a little bit short, so you can always keep them fully on the mat if you want, otherwise just the fingertips. Keep on breathing. And then you turn out the right foot, heel comes towards the ground, so the feet is facing the longer side of your mat. And then you can bring the right hand all the way up. If that is too much, you can come up further, so you can make a pose more like this. Sorry guys, I need to check. But if you want, you can keep your hand on the ground. Try to make sure that your upper body is long, okay? So you don't bend, you just keep it long. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Both legs are stretched. Keep the weight also on the back foot, so not all the weight is coming on the front knee. And breathe. Very good. And breathe out. Try to bring your right hand back towards the ground. Bend the front knee. Place both of your hands fully on the ground so you can support the weight. And roll the back foot back so the toes are facing the front. Heel is lifted. So place your right foot, and then we're going to go back to a downward facing dog. So we're going to bring our left foot all and then slowly stretch out the right leg into downward facing. Again, as far as you like. Keep breathing. And it's okay that you might feel on the outside of the leg or your hamstrings or the inside of your knee. Keep the knee more bended if you feel you are overstretching, because that's not the point. Try to make it a steady pose. So bring the weight and the attention towards the back foot as well. Keep on breathing. Okay, there we go. Into Trikonasana, so triangle pose. Point out the left toes, so the whole left foot is on the floor. Right hand stays on the floor, and then the left hand goes all the way up. Again, just come up with the entire body if you feel this is way too much for you, because it can be a very intense pose. The most important thing is that your spine is straight. It's really important. Otherwise, just come back up. Keep on breathing. And just keep your fingertips on the floor or off the floor. And And when you breathe out, bring your hand back, bend the front knee, so both hands can be fully on the floor, fully supported. And then we're going to go back into a downward facing dog. We're going to bring the right foot all the way back into a downward facing dog. From here, we're going to step forward again with the left foot. So left foot in front of your mat, between your hands, and you can immediately place the back foot, so in this case the right foot, on the floor. Then bring the weight slowly a bit more forward. You can make the step a little bit smaller if you want, and you can place your left hand in front of your left foot. Try to keep some space between there because you're going to need it. You can place the right hand on your hip, and if you want you can just stay this way. This might be challenging enough already. If you want, you can walk your right foot towards you until you feel you have some balance, and you can lift your right foot all the way up. Open the hips, so you bring the right hip above the left hip, and if you want, you can stretch out the right hand. Keep breathing. And you might feel your body being challenged. That's really okay. Don't push it, just practice. We're going to come back slowly, guys. Bend the front knee where you're standing on, so the left knee. Right foot comes down towards the earth. Hand goes back onto the hips. Place the right foot on the ground. Both hands on the ground. And we're going back to downward facing dog. All the way back. Same thing on the other side. So place the right foot in between the hands. Left foot on the ground. So the toes again are pointing outwards. Right hand in front of the right foot, and if you make it too short, if you place it immediately in front of that right foot, then you don't have the space, because the space between the hand and the foot should be the space of your upper body, like this part. So place it far in front of the foot so you can place some weight on it. And then slowly walk the back foot all the way towards the front. And if you feel that you have the balance, lift the left leg, stretch it all the way out, and if you want, you stretch out the left hand. Keep breathing, and try to divide weight between your hand and your foot that are on the ground. And it might feel a little bit more challenging to keep that hand fully on the ground because you come more forward, but eventually it will help you in your balance. Slowly backwards, so we're going to bend the front knee, keep the back leg stretched, find the floor, both hands go back towards the floor, and we're going back into downward facing dog. There we go. Adjust your feet if you want to, and from there, lower your knees towards the ground. We're going to child's pose. Hands relaxed on the floor. Head relaxed on the floor. If you want to, you can bring the hands under the head. And just breathe. Take a moment, guys, just relax the body, try to bring the breathing back to normal if it went up. And then slowly roll yourself up to a hero pose, a well-known pose. We do it a lot, because usually for most people it's okay to sit like this. And again, take a moment here, breathe in and out. And from hero pose you can come up onto your knees. stretch out, and you can twist, you can turn to face the longer side of your mat. So you have some mat on both sides of you. And you can stretch out the left leg. Try to keep the right hip above the right knee. And then you can lift up the right hand. If you want to, you can just keep the left one lightly on the left leg. Don't press, just keep it there lightly. Otherwise you can just bring it in front of you. And then we're gonna make a stretch. Activate the belly muscles. Even if you have your hand rested on the leg, try not to push yourself up, but use your muscles, okay? So use the body. Try to divide that strength. When you're breathing, come up, place the right hand next to the right foot and open up with the left hand. Activate the belly muscles, so keep the hips pointing forward. Don't hang in the lower back. Come back up and switch sides. Okay. Right leg out. Left leg in. Try to pull your toes towards you a little bit. That way you have more strength. And again, left hand up. Left leg up. That will be a challenge. And again, if you want to release your hand onto your leg, it's fine. Otherwise, keep it in front of you. Activate your body. See how far you want to go, okay? So there is no point in going too far or stretching this part too far. It should be nice. It should be okay. Keep breathing. So slowly in, fully out. As long as the breath is okay, your body is usually okay. When you breathe in, come up. Place your left hand on the outside of your left foot and open with your right hand. And again, activate your muscles, so pull the navel in. Come back up, both feet back to hero pose. So we're going to end in hero pose, but if you want to end in any other sitting position, or maybe you want to stand, or maybe you want to go into Shavasana and just lay down, that's really okay. Take your moment here, find what feels good for you right now. See what your intention was at the beginning of this class, and if it's still there, you might have changed it or let go of it. Maybe it was something you wanted to reach. And again, it can be really meaningful. It is really meaningful to have intentions. It gives a purpose to what you're doing. To try to let go of reaching. Having an end game or result, especially in the yoga, just try to be in this moment, not moving towards the next, not clinging to the last moment you had, just being in this moment. And you'll find out it's quite okay here, whatever's happening, whatever your thoughts are, your emotions. Right now you're just sitting on a mat. Nothing else is happening. Try to deep breathe in and deeply out. Relax the tummy, the back, the hips. Maybe it's early mornings for you and you want to set an intention for the rest of the day. Maybe it's night and you want to set an intention for tomorrow. Again, make a meaningful moment of setting your intention, but also promise yourself that It's okay if the intention changes. It's okay if the future changes. If your circumstances are different. There's no need for a result. You're not doing it right or wrong if your intention changes. Just enjoy this moment. Maybe you feel calm, maybe you feel excited, maybe you feel tired, maybe there are emotions that come up. You don't have to push them away, you don't have to judge them. They're just there, and you're still sitting and breathing. One more breath. And then you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. Thank yourself for being here, joining me in this maybe quite challenging Hatha Yoga session. But most of all, just taking some time for you. Thank you so much, and namaste. Thank you guys so much again for joining me. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. If you have any questions or requests, if there's just something you'd like to share, anything you want, you can leave it in the comments. And I really hope to see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That would be a really big help for me. And I hope to see you in the next class. Bye guys, thank you so much for joining me.